a lot of people who are in the midst of what they would call an encore career. It's something that I love to do to connect people's purpose to their productivity, or like I like to say, to connect their process to their purpose, so that we can actually see what it is that they believe. And when you can take what's inside and put it on the outside, it brings something pretty special. Now, I'm going to be digging in here. This is actually a precursor for a talk that I'm going to be doing tomorrow. But I believe, ladies and gentlemen, that we all have a gift of God that is meant to be expressed. And when we can actually take that thing that we've been given and serve people with that, we become an unstoppable force. So I have an idea, I have a thought. Quick story for you. I've been a productivity coach since 2016. I help people to make more money, grow their businesses, and all that stuff. And a lot of times people come to me and they say, I need help either understanding a skill set and putting that into play, or knowing my gift. And or purpose, like they feel like they're not really connecting desire to what they're doing. And I see that a lot. And the way that I imagine it is this. Imagine you saw a burning building. Ah, the building's on fire. All right. So in the building that is on fire, imagine someone said, hey, tell you what, go into the building that's on fire. And I know that there's $100 bill in there for you. There's $100 bill in there for the fire. And so would you run into the building? I know times are tough for some people, but most people aren't going to risk their life for $100. But what if the building caught on, the fire got greater, and you realize there were a few stacks of $100 bills. So now we have I don't know, maybe $100,000, and the flames are flickering higher and higher and higher. Would you go in? Most likely not. But instead of money in that flame, imagine someone that you loved inside of the building that was on fire. Would you go in? Absolutely. You would go over, under, around, and through. You would do whatever it took to rescue your loved one from the flames. So what changed? Now, a lot of people I work with, they run companies and they think, hey, we're easily motivated by this. And I do think that this is like, if we're working, we need some of this to pay the bills. But I actually don't think it is the most powerful motivator inside of us. What is? Well, it's what took you inside the burning building a moment ago. It is your loved ones. I believe this: if we can uncover what it is that we love about what we're doing, who we're doing it for, or how we're doing it, this becomes a byproduct. And so what I seek to do is to help people to find a way to tap into love, so that they will be willing to do the great things. Now, Teddy Roosevelt said that it is not the critic who counts. It's not the one who points out how the strong man stumbles or how the doer of deeds could have done them better. He said the credit belongs to the man or the woman who's actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who knows the great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, who at best knows the triumph of high achievement, and at worst, even if he fails, at least he fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be for those cold and timid souls who know neither victory nor defeat. If you want to tap into courage, you're not going to run into the courage, you're not going to run into the fire for this stuff. You're going to run into it for what you love. And we're all built differently. My goal is to expose some of those things that are inside of you that can actually help you to tap into your innate greatness. I believe we're all meant to succeed. I'm going to show you some things that you know about yourself And in the process of me showing that to you, I don't want you to take it for granted. I'm going to be talking about some of your gifts and some of your talents, really the things that you know that you do better than other people. Because when you love who you are, what you do, how you do it, you are unstoppable. There's no second best. And so that's what we're talking about. What can you do that no one else on the planet can do? So in my hand, I have we'll call it a fine stone, a precious stone. Really, it's crystal. I want you to imagine if you were to buy this crystal. Let's imagine this is a diamond, right? You're going to get married, and you're buying this big diamond. They're not just going to leave it in a box and give it to you. No. What are they going to do? They're going to take it out, probably hold it up against a dark background and shine a light on it. Why are they shining a light on it? Because every single time it turns a little bit differently, you see something a little bit different about it. That's my hope for you, is that as you see something you know about yourself, you're not going to be overly familiar with it and dismiss its beauty. But I hope that you'll take a moment, look at it, behold it, just turn it a little bit. Take in the beauty, take in the power that is you. So, what is your working genius? What is your working, what were you made for? I believe that we all have a vocation that, or a calling. Have you ever even thought about the word vocation? It's Latin. It's very similar to another word we would say, vocal. It's a call. Oh, there we go. Okay, that's weird. Phone call came in. I'm on YouTube Live. My first time doing this, so it's kind of fun. So, how do we take the gift of God that is inside of us and actually turn it towards what it is that we're doing? And that's going to be the content of what we're talking about. Now, if you haven't done this yet, you need to do it now. There is I call it professional design. There's a professional design link quiz in the notes here. And what that does is 72 questions, take it in 7 minutes, and you will know what, or at least you'll have a better clue as to what you are designed to do. Some of us are designed to lead and be certain and to bring people into places where they wouldn't go without us. We're designed to compete, maybe to win. Others of us, man, we're designed to connect. We're designed to just chill. We're designed to love on people, make them feel a part of something. While others of us, we are designed to go explore brand new horizons. If you are someone who is trying to live in a competitive world and fight like a fighter, but you were really made like a lover, you're not going to be very happy. And actually, you might get good at what you do, but you're not going to be world class. I like to think of it like this. I live here at the beach, and we have my favorite bird, this awkward, ugly looking thing, this pelican. And the pelican has learned how to fish in the shallow part of the ocean. But what it does is this big giant beak acts as a hand. It sees a fish, and it dives at almost 40 miles per hour in a way that really the impact would break anyone else's neck. It takes that beak and it tilts it at 45 degrees and it slaps its body into the water. It knows what it's made for, and even in its awkwardness, it knows how to win. When you have in alignment your gifts, oh wow, this is out of tune. When you have in alignment your gifts and your talents, and you're serving your people from that, you sound good. Ooh, someone needs to tune this. When those things are not in alignment, people avoid you. They stay away. And what I believe and what I have seen and what I've spent the last few years of my career doing is helping people to play according to their design. Can you imagine, let's just say that you played baseball and you were taught to throw a curveball. And the person who was teaching you how to throw a curveball was left-handed, but you were not. You're right-handed. Everything they taught you, everything they told you could be absolutely correct for them, but not you. So, what if what if there was another design that made everything not only easier, but gave you something that was a competitive advantage in what you were doing? And even furthermore, what if there was something for you that made work look like and feel like play? I've got to tell you a little bit of my story in this because this is really the origin of this. In 2016, we actually left our little home of Gainesville, Florida, place where I'd met my wife, and we had all of our kids, all 8 of our kids. These are the ones that are up here on my wall back here, all over. So we had all 8 of our children in Gainesville, Florida, but we decided it was time for us to go. I did write some stuff about it in a book called Sell Anywhere. Very, very fun book. If you haven't ordered that or read that, it's on Audible. But as we were traveling, I was a sales coach, and I was a sales coach who didn't like selling, which that's probably the worst thing to do, right? Worst thing to be. And it wasn't that I didn't like selling. I didn't like who I had to be to sell. We were in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. We would move from one Airbnb to another every 3 months. And here we were in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, and one of my kids one night said, "Dad, are you okay?" I said, "Yeah, I'm okay." The next night, after another sales day, one of my kids came up and they said, "Dad, everything all right?" "Yes, fine. I love what I'm doing. Everything's good." And then the next night, it was the third night in a row when Ephraim came to me and he said, "Dad, do you even like what you do?" And I said, "Yes, I love what I do." And I'm like, I looked like this angry, mean, and bitter person. And what I realized was I did love what I did, but I didn't love who I had to be to do it. For the last 10 years of my life, every day I would transform into this person. And I would be and I see a couple of you on here. What's going on? I would be Dark Ninja and Foxy, but I would become the sales warrior. And the sales warrior was a mentality that I put on because I thought I had to. I fought and I wrestled and I took, everything was, it felt like a boxing match. And when I got done with work at the end of the day, I was depleted. I didn't like what I was doing. I didn't like who I had to be to do it. And even though we were traveling to all of these wonderful places, you would think that everything was great in my life, but I was at the pit. And it was that night that I started something. And it was that night that I decided that if I was going to win or lose, at least I was going to do it as myself. And so instead of the sales warrior, I decided I would become the joyful farmer. Now I'm going to show you something, and I'm just going to tell you. Oh, cool! I'm glad I had these ones and not the other ones. I said, you know what? My job is now to go plant the seeds, laugh about it, have fun with people, serve people, be a blessing, and then let everything else take care of itself. Guess what happened? I started liking what I did because it was fun. I got to be me, and I did it more. And the more I did it, the better I got, the more people I talked to, and my income almost doubled very, very quickly. And we were able to travel around. We went into Mexico for 2 years. We were intentionally homeless, where we would move from one Airbnb to the next. And the coolest thing was I was doing it from who I was. Well, out of almost 300 other coaches in the company, I started getting better results than every single person in the company because I was helping them to do the same. Hey, let's figure out who you are and let's create your process and connect your process to your purpose. And what happened was other people started having crazy, crazy results. Dark Ninja, you are you, dude, and that's gonna, or dude or dudette. That's super cool and much more, probably much more cooler than me in a lot of different areas. My goal in this, though, is to help people figure out what is their unique advantage. Interesting. There's a story if you've never heard of it. Mordecai Brown, back in the early days when baseball was America's pastime. Mordecai Brown, he was a pitcher, and he got good at pitching by throwing rocks at fence, not holes on fences. Got really good. But the thing about Mordecai was in a farming accident, he had one of his fingers completely severed, the next one halfway severed. He had like 3.5 fingers, and the ones that he had were jagged like lightning. But he could still throw a rock through a knothole on a fence. Well, that progressed, and he became a pitcher in baseball. They said he had an unhittable curveball because it wasn't just a curve, it was a curve that would sink. Because the weird shape of his fingers, because he was actually missing one of them, 1.5 of them, it actually gave him an advantage. And so, no matter what it is that you've gone through, or no matter what it is that you haven't done or you wish you did, that you can be the next Mordecai, right? Of what you're doing. Take what you have and apply it. There's an unfair advantage. That's it. That was his unique advantage. There's an unfair, unique advantage that is you waiting within you stepping into action. So, how can we get you to step into action? Number one thing is I want you to find something that you love, find someone that you love, find a way to love, to bring love into what you do. If you can bring love into what you do become an unstoppable force. The number two thing is this: know your gift. Know your gift. Know your unique advantage. Know the thing that you've got that no one else does. There's a story, you probably heard of the story, about a young shepherd boy who kills a giant, David and Goliath. Um, what everyone knows is that the shepherd boy goes into battle and he has a stone in a sling, kind of like this. And he goes into battle and kills the giant with the stone and the sling. What most people don't know is that he was actually offered to wear the best armor in the entire kingdom, to have the best sword in the entire kingdom. And he actually went and he tried it on. When he convinced the king to let him be the champion for Israel, the king said, okay, but you need to wear my armor and use my sword. And as he started moving around in this armor, he's like, this isn't my deal. It's not my jam. I'm like, well, what's your jam? He's like, well, my jam is it's a stone in a sling. And actually, it looked so ludicrous that the giant himself said, am I a dog that you send a boy with sticks and stones at me? It was that crazy, but it worked. And that's the place where I want to bring you to is I would say, first off, what do you love enough that you would run through a fire to do it? And usually there's a who on the other side. Who do you love enough that you would run through a fire to do it? And that might be your family or the people closest to you. It also might be just people that are the people you like to serve. Who are the people you like to serve? I love purpose driven business owners, entrepreneurs, people making a shift, making a jump into something new. I'll run through a fire for them. When my phone rings, I'm like, yeah, I get to talk to this person. And so I set up a business that serves those. And it just makes it easy for me to show up to work. Most of us are doing something we had to do, not something we love to do. And so if you can't find that love, you owe it to yourself to find something that you can love, that you can serve. Some people, they love the person. Other people love the way they do it. Maybe you love the process of the beginning of this is how we make a program to how we create, to how we finish. We are all differently made in terms of that. But if you can have love, either for yourself, who you get to be when you do the thing, for the person you're doing it for, or for how you do it, you're going to have, that's an unfair advantage. The other one is to know your gifts. And gifts come in the form of curiosity. Yeah, curiosity is a gift. And creativity and connection. Curiosity, creativity, and connection. Curiosity is this: what are the things that you love to learn, even if no one forced you to learn them? That's an advantage. I don't care about code. I was talking to someone the other day. They love code. What a great advantage for that person. That That's a part of their treasure, right? That's not a part of mine. Mine is I love to connect with people. And the way I connect is I teach, I do these things. I don't know what I'm doing here. I should make a I should make a whiteboard, should I? Someone says I should make a whiteboard. Well, looks what that's what's hiding behind my map. I do a whiteboard all the time. And you should join me for some other sessions. We're starting to use the whiteboard a whole lot more. But the idea is that we want to be able to use the way that we connect, the way that we create, and the way that we our curiosities that are natural to us. Why do I have to go try to figure out how to learn something I don't want to learn? You know what I want to learn personally? I want to learn YouTube. I don't know any, like, I'm so stupid when it comes to it, but I have an insatiable desire, which means in a year from now, I'm going to be pretty smart with this stuff. I just really like it, even if I get no money for it. I really, really like it. Um, what do you want to create? You want to create something that is, usually there's a who for it, but what kind of, we're made to create something. We are all creative. And it's not just songs and art, even though it can be songs and art. Could be business tools. It could be a business. It could be an idea. It could be a way to help people. There's so many things that someone could create. When like it drives you. When you're connected to that, that is your unfair advantage. And then finally, I would say your connection, how you connect with people. Now, if you look at and you took the quiz that's in the link here, the 12 archetypes, some people, let's see if I can get through all 12 of them here. So the shaman loves to connect with people by giving meaning to things. I'm pretty much this, right? I'm the guy that says, like, this stone of this sling means that you're facing the battle with your gifts, right? That's the shaman. That's how we love to lead people, pastor people, transform people. We have the sages. Sages love to teach people. The way sages connect is they find new information and they bring it to people. That's what a sage does. That's what you're made to do. So, like teachers, leaders, guides, the companion. You're made to make people feel connected and worthy and valued and seen. These people are your counselors. They're your pastors. They're the really good, kind, and sweet leaders. They're right. Those are your best friends. Then we have the rulers. And these people, like the way you interact is like you tell us what to do. Honestly, you tell us what to do. There are multiple ways of connecting people, but you have one or two innate ways that just are natural to you. It's like speaking English is to me. I can speak Spanish un poquito, but I can speak English much más fácil. It's much more easy for me to speak English. That's my native tongue. You have one or two of the connection ways that are native to you. The other things take effort. And here's the deal: if you want to do what you were made to do, if you want to be a true professional where you speak, you profess the things that you do well, and you get paid well for that thing, then you must be the person. You must be the person who's committed to bringing your gift to people that matter in a way that matters, and money will be your byproduct. So thanks for hanging with me today. I just wanted to do a quick YouTube live. I'm doing a workshop tomorrow with someone, and these are some of the ideas that I'm going through. I just got to do a quick run through for me, and this is how I mentally map things so that when I get to some of this for tomorrow, it'll pop right out of my brain. Thanks for hanging with me, and we'll see you on the journey. Take the quiz. How do I stop? Are you sure you want to?